Hello everybody and welcome to this SUPboarder video. Now for those of you that don't know, we did a series quite a few years back called Who's Riding What? We were focusing on the top athletes in the sport, looking at what boards they ride, what equipment they have, to give you some insight into what the pros are riding. This time, we are bringing that to you in video format and we are focusing on the top female athletes of our sport, looking at the equipment they ride, the boards that they use, paddles, leashes, fins, both in the racing and in the SUP surfing realms. So make sure you stick around and we're going to be bringing you these videos over the next couple of months, really highlighting some of the top female athletes. Kicking it off is Seychelle Webster, and she is definitely an athlete to aspire to, and also she really inspires us to paddle harder, paddle faster. Seychelle is a highly decorated stand-up paddle athlete, a world champion in the racing, endurance paddling powerhouse, and a Guinness World Record holder. She's also a certified SUP coach, personal trainer, and yoga instructor. And she gives us some insight into the race boards that she uses and also the surf SUPs. So here is Seychelle to take it away with her equipment quiver.
Hi everybody, Seychelle here, and I want to talk to you today about the equipment that I use the most for stand-up paddling. And so what I have here are the race boards that I use. These are the SIC Maui RS's. I have a 21.5 low volume, a 21.5 regular volume, and then I also use the 14 by 23. They're all 14. So the difference between the low volume and the regular volume 14 by 21.5 is actually that this board has an extra 25 liters. We have 240 liters, 265 liters, and then the 23 is 280 liters. So I use the 23 in, the ocean, downwinding, and it's really rough. And I just feel like I need more stability and more board underneath me. I'm super comfortable on this board. The board that I use most often is the 21.5 regular volume. This board just feels like exactly the right size for me. I am 135 pounds. I think that's about 62 kilos for those of you in kilos. And for real flat water conditions, and the lightest board that I have is the low volume board. But I tend to actually choose my regular volume board more often because, again, I'm just more comfortable with a little bit of board underneath me. That's my personal choice. So I also brought out my SUP surf that I use pretty often. So this is the 7/8 Slice Pro, also by SIC Maui, 7/8 by 29, I believe. So that's what I use for SUP surfing. These are the boards I use the most. The fins that I use, you can see on both my 21s. On my low volume, I have the Tiger, and I'll show you a close-up in a second. On my regular volume, I have the Sonic, and on the 23, I almost always put the Sonic. So when I'm using a bigger board, I typically use a smaller fin. So here's a close-up of those. The Black Project Tiger. This is for more straight. It's got more surface area, helps you paddle more in a straight line, but also not too much surface area that you can't still be really maneuverable. This fin feels super stable for me, and that's what I use in flat water or tracking straight. If I want to be able to make more maneuverable, I want to be able to make more turns, the water's more dynamic, I'm surfing, drafting, downwinding, I'll use a Sonic, and this is actually a prototype of what the new Sonic will look like. Here's what the regular one looks like. So those are my fins, and then paddles I also use Black Project. So my surf paddle is actually the Lava. It's an 83 size blade, all carbon, super light. What I've been using the last couple of years is the Black Project Hydro small blade, which is a 77. I use the regular diameter shaft and the medium flex. And what I just started testing out and using this year is the Hydro Flow X. This is actually the medium blade. So I'm using the small Hydro, but the medium, which is an 82. Also still the medium flex shaft with the regular diameter as opposed to the narrow diameter. I prefer to have that wider shaft grip. And I don't think it's necessarily that I have bigger hands. It's just what I'm comfortable with. And everybody has, you know, different sizes, different diameters, you know, different flexibilities that they're going to be more comfortable with. And if you're somebody who's trying to figure out like what your quiver should be, or just what your one board and what your one paddle would be, and if I had to choose just one and one, you know, I would just choose one paddle and one board. I'm fortunate enough to have a big quiver, but if you're not, what I recommend is to try people's boards. Most stand-up paddlers are more than happy to let you try their paddle, try their board. They want you to see what that feels like. We love sharing our equipment. We love sharing the sport. So don't be afraid to try out different sizes of paddles and boards and figure out what feels best for you. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Seychelle. That was fantastic to get a lot of insight into the equipment that you are riding. We'll be back next time with another one of the top female athletes, really diving into all of their equipment. Stay tuned for that.